Today, I have the privilege of interviewing Dr. Ahmed Tolba, a marketing professor and chair of the Department of Management, an expert in brand equity, innovation, and nation branding.
My name is Ahmed Tolba. I am a professor of marketing and the chair of the Department of Management. I'm originally an engineer, so I graduated from AUC in construction engineering, but I shifted my career to business and marketing upon graduation when I joined Procter & Gamble in Egypt. And then after I really enjoyed the field, I went for my PhD at the George Washington University and then returned back to AUC in 2006. And this is where I started my career at AUC.
You've worked in both academia and industry. How did your experience at Procter & Gamble shape your approach to teaching and research in marketing?
That's a great question. My students always know how fond I am of Procter & Gamble and my experience there, and I developed a lot of case studies based on my experience at P&G. First of all, I really believe business education, the best thing to do is to have a blend or a mix between theory and practice. Practice alone without foundation may be based on a little experience that is not sustainable and may not guarantee that this approach is right. Theory only without practice means that we are educating consumers about a concept, but they will not be able to know how to apply it. So the mixture is the best way to do it. So I definitely used a lot of examples and cases from P&G, but I also learned how marketing and business are developed and implemented on the ground. So when I got the cases, the depth of the discussion, not just the case and the examples themselves, the depth of the discussion is emphasized. While I'm telling them what happened, I always give them the context and give them the challenge in the discussions within the class. So that's why a lot of my classes are interactive, and I do a lot of group exercises that make them understand the case deeply rather than just know the idea.
You co-authored Principles of Marketing, Arab World Edition. What unique regional insights did you aim to highlight in this adaptation?
Well, first of all, it was my honor to be one of the co-authors of that Principles of Marketing Arab World Edition textbook. I was approached by the publisher, and this textbook is a renowned textbook that is used across the world, authored by the famous Philip Kotler and Gary Armstrong, the professors of marketing and gurus in the field. And it's really my honor to be co-authoring with them. What I worked with, along with another co-author, is to build on the original textbook and add contents and examples and case studies that are relevant to the region.
You've launched Al Khazan Dar Business Research and Case Center at AUC. Could you provide more insights on what does this center do?
This is one of the key initiatives that I'm very, very proud of. Once I joined AUC, I was very fond of case studies. So similar to the discussion I had about the textbook and about my approach to teaching, is I would like to use case studies. And the local case studies, the case studies that are relevant, have two advantages. One, students will be more related to, and two, that there are abundance of challenges and successes in the Egyptian and regional MENA region markets that need to be documented, discussed, and solved. It became a renowned center in the region with partnerships with Harvard, with Ivy, with the Case Center, with Emerald, and with many others that I thought is a big success. We produced 200 plus case studies. We have journals, text, case books, and many other achievements.
You've been recognized for teaching excellence multiple times. What do you think resonates most with your students, and how do you adapt your teaching style to meet the changing landscape of business education?
That's a great question. I'll divide it into two, what I've done and how to adapt. So what I've done, I think teaching has to start with passion. So if you are passionate about teaching, you will deliver something good, because teaching is not just about the classroom. I have to develop material that is interesting in the classroom. I have to make sure that the class is interactive and with examples and everybody is engaged. So that's in the class. But my philosophy is also that outside the class is as important, if not more. So meeting with the teams, meeting with individuals, discussing projects, and my philosophy is I'm not telling them what the information is only. I would like to teach them how to think, and that's the critical thinking approach that AUC advocates through its liberal arts education. So I would like to see them facing a challenge in a project, and then we have a discussion. And I'm not here to tell them 1, 2, 3. It's just have a discussion that takes some time, but at least we go back and forth and argue until I see the development coming. So this is part of how my teaching is, and that's why I think I thankfully got recognized at the school level, at the university level with teaching awards. So it has to be about passion. So what I said right now applies in the past and applies in the future or now with the changing landscape in education and so on. If you have passion, you have to adapt.